Man, always great to catch up with former Tiger, current Saint Will Clapp. Good enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here. Yo, man, how are you?
Doing well, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for asking. Hey, let's just start with the question I think everybody wants to know, man. Just give us the update, if you would, on the injury, man. How's it progressing?
Man, it's been a good rehab. It's not a tough rehab. It's just long and slow. Just trying to stay focused throughout it. I've been told by my wife multiple times I'm not a great patient, and just taking your time throughout a long rehab, it can be challenging, but it's been going good.
Is it more complicated with little kiddos at home too?
Oh yeah, I mean, my poor wife had essentially 3 kids when I was in crutches and on a scooter for about 6 weeks after surgery. But I'm back moving around. I'm a couple weeks ahead of schedule on my recovery, so just taking my time through it. I mean, I still have another probably 2.5, 3 months till I'm get the full clear, but I'm feeling really well.
Good, man. Well, can you disclose, like, what was the injury? It was a foot, but what happened?
So I tore my Lisfranc. Just a really tough situation. First play of the first preseason game in LA. We call a little quick pass play, and the guy hits me with like a little bowl to swim. And when I went to redirect on his swim move, I just felt my whole foot give out. I went back to the huddle, and I was trying to convince myself I was good to go. Played another snap, and I was like, I'm not right. And then right when I got to the sideline and they took my shoe off, my foot blew up, and I knew something was up then. So just really unfortunate, but we're on the road to recovery now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't remember you ever being injured at LSU. Is this like the first serious injury you've dealt with in your career?
Yeah, I mean, I had injuries at LSU. Like most of the time, all the surgeries I had at LSU, I was able to get through the season. Yeah. And then, I would miss spring ball. I had a shoulder and a hip when I was at LSU. And then in the NFL, I've been, pretty fortunate. I've broken a couple fingers, but other than that, nothing serious that I'd have to miss like major time. But yeah, this is the first one where it's like knocked me out for a whole year.
Yeah. Well, man, it sounds like you're in good spirits, man. That's glad to hear you're ahead of schedule there. And I mean, I saw last week that you were doing like a little bit of coaching with the team. Like, can you walk us through, like, is that the role you're kind of taking this year?
Yeah, I mean, when I first got my injury, Kellen and Nuge had both just mentioned, hey, you can be as involved as you want to be. So I've just been trying to be involved as much as I can be. I do my rehab in the mornings, and I'll go to sit in meetings, ask questions. That as a guy, I'm the only one that's been with Kellen and Nuge from LA. So I'll ask questions in the line room just to maybe a question that a younger player might not want to ask or think to ask. And just do stuff like that. I make some cut-ups during the week for the guys, just stuff that I always, thought would be helpful, or, things that I liked when I was a younger player. So just stuff like that, just trying to help out where I can. Will
Clapp's our guest. I remember whenever you signed back with the Saints, you were good enough to come on the show, and we talked about your relationship with Kellen. You were pretty fired up, as I remember, about him and enjoyed your time with him in L.A. What would you say, like, how would you compare or contrast, Will, maybe the guy you played for in LA to head coach Kellen Moore, what you've been able to observe so far through the first half of this season?
I mean, it's honestly been the same thing. I mean, Kellen's not a guy who gets too high or too low. I mean, obviously we had a rough go of it. Beginning part of the year, we got a win last week, which is huge for everybody going into the bye week. But I never felt like he was getting down, or even when we beat the Giants, or he's always about his process and just keep going, doing the right thing. It's easy to get down in situations where I think we lost. I don't even know how many we lost in a row, like 5 or 6. You can get down on yourself pretty quick, and he just stayed the same the whole way through. He was, he's committed to the way he's doing it. I think the way that he's building this thing is the right way to go about it, and we've all enjoyed having him as our head coach.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, because it does seem, Will, like, despite the struggles, and I mean, look, I would assume like it was, I think it was an 7 or 8 game losing streak. Like, that could weigh on you, but it seems like the morale around the team has been good. Now, that's external. Internal is, like, you've been on a lot of different teams now in different places. Is that fair to say? Like, it seems like the vibe around the team in the locker room has still been positive?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a place where like you dread going to work. I mean, we all show up every day and we're fired up, and like the belief is there, and we're, the foundation that we're trying to build is, the right way we're trying to do it. And I never felt like, any game that like we believed, we were out of it. Obviously Seattle, tough start. LA was a rough game, but every other game we've been in it. It's just, you start winning a few of those and all, these, pretty much every game you're going to play in this league is going to be a one-score game, and you start winning a couple more of those one-score games, your season looks different. So we're a young team just trying to figure out how to win those games, and we're excited just to keep working towards the process of doing that.
I loved what you said too about being in the meetings and maybe asking questions young players may not want to ask, doing cut-ups, things that you enjoyed as a young player. Like you've got a rookie in that position room in Kelvin Banks. It's a first-rounder, and there's a ton of expectation around him. I mean, I'd love just your perspective as a veteran guy, what it's been like watching him in his rookie season. What have been your observations?
Yeah, I mean, he's been awesome, man. Just, off the field stuff. I mean, you got your rookie duties, and, this kid's he's a top 10 pick, absolute, rock star coming out of college, and he's all about doing all the rookie stuff. He doesn't complain. Some guys don't embrace it. He's all about everything, just doing his job, and that goes onto the field. He does everything that he's asked. He's open to different ideas. I sit next to him in meetings, and I'll just be like, hey, maybe think about this. Or one of the coaches will say, hey, KB, why don't you try this week? And just, these little tidbits, and he's super coachable, wants to be great. And I think it shows on the field. I mean, he's on an island a lot by himself, being a left tackle in the league, and it's not an easy thing. And, some of the stuff that he does is just, God-given natural ability that he's just an absolute freak about, and I think he has a bright future ahead.
Yeah, man. On the flip side of it, you saw the front end of Trevor Penning's career, right? You were in New Orleans, right? Your last season in New Orleans was his rookie year. Did I get that right?
No, so I just missed Trev, but obviously got to know him really well in this off season, and just working with him this season.
Yeah. So whenever a player in that position group gets traded mid-season, I mean, I guess obviously losing a teammate, but then also another opportunity for another guy like Dylan who's starting in that place. But can you walk us through what that's kind of like in the position group when you lose a starter in the season like that to a trade?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sucks just because you spend so much time together. I mean, we're with each other 6 out of 7 days a week. We're doing road trips. We're together every day during camp for 6 weeks. I mean, most times I see these guys more than I see my wife and kids. So it definitely sucks when you lose a guy, especially somebody in your position room. I'm super excited for him as a player to have a fresh start and go somewhere. I would imagine he's just, once he gets the playbook down there, they're going to move him into the starting lineup. And he's just a super talented guy that I hope can keep ascending in the league.
Will Clapp's with us. Hey, before you go, and I always appreciate talking to you whenever we can get a few minutes. I'm sure you're watching the Tigers this year?
Yeah, it's been I'm always watching the Tigers. Obviously a lot of stuff going on in Baton Rouge right now. I'll actually be there this weekend. Cool. I haven't been to a game in 4 years, so I'm super excited.
Nice.
Go see everybody, and hoping we can right the ship and get back to the stage we all want to be at.
All right, who do you want? You can pick the coach. Who you want?
Man, there's a lot of good options out there. I mean, you guys are more plugged in than me, but obviously I think Lane's like the hot one going around. I'm always big on some offensive production, so that'd be a cool one to get.
Yeah, man. Have you gotten to meet Summerall down in New Orleans at all, John Summerall?
I have not, but I've only heard great things about him, and I've heard that name float around too. I mean, listen, man, I'm all about whoever gets the Tigers going, and I'm just excited to see who they snag. Same.
Hey, man, always appreciate a couple of minutes. We're always pulling for you from afar. Happy for your success, man. Continued good health on the road to recovery, man. We'll catch you down the line, all right?
I appreciate that.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.